Tell us about your job as a musical director.
So my title here is I'm the associate music director. On a normal show, I play one of the keyboard books in the orchestra, and then 2 shows a week I conduct the show. And outside of that, I run a lot of the rehearsals, so working with the understudies, working with the swings. So that happens during the week when we're not in shows.
I should also point out that you, of course, got to play the piano to Wonderful and VideoBroadway.com did for the tour.
Yes. Yes. It was very exciting.
How did you get involved with An American in Paris?
I'm friends with the Broadway music supervisor, Todd Ellison. He's hired me on a few projects in the past, and when this came up, I knew this was going on tour. I just told him that I would be interested in going out on the road with it as the associate music director. And then a few months later, he offered me the job.
So how familiar were you with the original film prior to this?
Not really at all. Since I was little and started playing piano, I've always loved Gershwin, but I had never seen the movie before this. But I have since seen it, of course, as I was researching to get ready for the show.
So what's it been like working with the music of George and Ira Gershwin?
I can't imagine a better show to do 8 times a week. It's just such like rich, dense music that it's such a shame that George died at such a young age, because I'm curious what would have come later in his life. A lot of the Gershwin family, Ira's children, a lot of them are still involved, and of course on the producing side of things. And I like to say that George would be very happy to see what is being done with his work today. It's musical theater, but we're ballet, and then we have these giant symphonic ballets that happen in both acts, and it's such like a nice break from what people expect in musical theater.
Of course, we should say that the ballet sequence in the original film at the time was very groundbreaking. You say there's musical theater going audiences that may not really be all that interested in ballet. What would you say to them if they're deciding on whether to see this show or not?
It's kind of cliche, but I do think there's something for everybody, and it is still musical theater. We still have the showstoppers, I Got Rhythm, Stairway to Paradise, which is I think what people expect from going to the theater. Ballet is just another art form that we are just unfortunately less exposed to. And I think this is a great introduction to ballet if it's something that is foreign to your world.
Would you mind sharing with us some of your past professional experiences with us?
Oh, sure. I mean, I actually got my professional start at North Carolina Theater in Raleigh. The show I did there was Peter Pan. That was the first time I actually had ever really worked on a musical. And so I worked at North Carolina Theater for about 2 or 3 years before moving to New York. Right when I moved to New York, I got an internship on The Addams Family on Broadway, which kind of opened a lot of doors for me.
And I guess what's sort of worth noting is that the lead producers of The Addams Family, I believe, are the same producers as An American in Paris.
They are the same, and it's funny, when I was working on Addams Family, I never interacted with them, I just knew their names. And so it was exciting to be like, okay, it was nice to meet them and be so connected and involved with them in this process. And I did an off-Broadway musical, Silence, the musical, based on Silence of the Lambs. I worked on that for nearly 3 years. I've done a lot of regional work. I did Marvin Hamlish's last musical, The Nutty Professor, directed by Jerry Lewis, which was, they were trying to get it to New York, and I think it's still kind of, working its way there. And then I've worked at Arena Stage down in Washington, D.C. I've been the associate music director on several shows down there. Did Fiddler on the Roof, Oliver, My Fair Lady. Off-Broadway, I did Jasper and Deadland as the associate music director.
Brad, I thank you very much for devoting your time to this interview. I hope you have a great time in Durham at the beginning of the year.
Yes, thank you so much.